Hey everybody, Sarah here. So you might notice I am an avatar today, and that's because I didn't feel like putting on makeup. And so any day that I have to record where I don't feel like putting on makeup, you might be seeing avatar me. So hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about all of the different corn snake morphs that were wild caught. That means that these morphs were originally found in the wild and then they were proven out in someone's collection. Before we jump in, I want to thank all the members on this channel for helping to make everything possible. You guys are amazing. If anybody else would like to become a member, you can click join under any video. Apparently, unless you're on an iPhone. A quick thank you to Reptilinks for helping to support this channel. If you want to use my code SarahSnake27 at checkout at Reptilinks.com, you will get a discount on some of this awesome food for your reptiles. I also sell corn snakes and corn snake accessories, so if you'd like to see what I have available, please check out my morph market. I will link it down below. Also, I have finally gotten my book published through a third party so that you guys can actually go and buy a physical copy for yourself. I will also be attending the Colubrid Fest in Indianapolis this year. I will be there all 3 days. I'll be vending. I'll also be speaking on a couple of panels. And if you would like to see a sneak peek of what I'll be talking about, please check out the Colubrid and Colubrid podcast coming up this Tuesday. I will be on that podcast, so please check them out if you haven't already. They are also the ones who are organizing the Colubrid Fest, so I'm going to be on their podcast, and then I will also be, like I said, attending Colubrid Fest. So please check out all of those things. I will link everything down below. Also, if you're interested in the history of morphs like this, my book goes into a deep dive of all of the histories of all of the different morphs that we have in corn snakes. So please check that out if this is something that you're interested in. And this is kind of my thing, so please subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. We're going to be going in alphabetical order, so today we're talking about amelanistic. Amelanistic just means that there's no melanin or black pigment in the corn snake, and so you're left with just the yellow and the red pigments. The first amelanistic was wild caught, and it was proven to be a recessive mutation by Dr. Bernard Bechtel. The next one that is found wild caught is anerythristic type A. Now we're not 100% sure if the very first one was wild caught, but we assume that it is because there are many different wild populations of anerythristic. One notable population is near Fort Myers, Florida. And that is where I personally believe, based on my research, that is probably where the first anerythristics were found. And the next one on the list is charcoal. Charcoal was also found. Bill and Kathy Love on Pine Island, just off the coast of Florida. At first they thought it might have been a regular anerythristic, but it turns out that it is a completely different mutation. Next is the Christmas corn snake. The early Christmas corn snakes were found on Dowfuski Island, South Carolina. I hope I'm saying that right. So a lot of these have been found in Florida up until now. We finally have one that was found in South Carolina. Next up on the list, we have diffuse. The first diffuse were wild caught near Palatka, Florida, and then proven to be recessive by Ed Leach a few years later. This is also potentially the exact same time that both mask and a form of red factor were found, but we're just going to say diffused for now. Golden is another mutation that was found in the wild. It was found by Karsten Zoldi in South Carolina in 2004. Hypomelanistic is the next one on the list, so this is hypomelanistic type A. The first ones were found in George Van Horn's Reptile World in St. Cloud, Florida. However, it is very likely that these were originally a wild caught in the Tampa, Florida area, as many hypo-type corn snakes have been found in that area, and they're really not that far as human standards go. It wouldn't be that difficult to catch them in the wild and then drive a few miles and sell them in your pet store. A lot of people were doing that kind of thing back then. On the list is everyone's favorite, palmetto. Palmetto was found wild in someone's backyard, South Carolina, and was caught and then bred and of course found to be inheritable in 2011. We have terrazzo, which was also called granite originally, so if you ever see something called the original granite, they're talking about terrazzo. Terrazzo was actually found in the Florida Keys by Craig Boyd in the early 1990s. Now, as I mentioned, there are many different snake morphs, and they all originated in different places. This was just the list of the ones that we know were found in the wild and were caught in the wild originally. So corn snake morphs can happen at many different places, popped up in different breeders' collections. There's ones that came in through hybridization, and ones that came about due to research programs in universities. Believe it or not, there's more than one of those. I will be talking about some of these on the podcast with Colubrid and Colubroid Radio on Tuesday, so please check that out and subscribe to them. Any that we may not get to on that podcast, I will talk about in a future video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a new video soon.